Hi readers, welcome back to my channel, Lila Wanders and Reads. Lee here, and welcome to my weekend books. Now, in all transparency, I'm recording this on the 21st of December. It won't be published until the 29th because I have something else that's coming out on the 22nd. It's my weekend of book haul. It will have already been published by now, but by the time this posts. So the reading I've done has actually been for the reading of 14 through 20 December. I only read one fiction book. I'm possibly putting away fiction for the time being because I'm going to have to do a lot of reading in this master's degree program, and I kind of got a real taste for that this past week. But let's talk about the fiction book first. I started and finished, it took me a couple of days, The Bletchley Riddle by Ruta Sepetys and Steve Sheinkin, and I loved this book. It's a YA novel that really aims to teach people about, teach youngsters, I am getting old, about history. Summer 1940. 19-year-old Jacob Novus and his quirky younger sister Lizzie share a love of riddles and puzzles, and now they're living inside of one. The quarrelsome siblings find themselves amid one of the greatest secrets of World War II, Britain's eccentric code-breaking factory at Bletchley Park. As Jacob joins Bletchley's top minds to crack the Nazis' Enigma cipher, 14-year-old Lizzie embarks on a mission to solve the mysterious disappearance of their mother. The Battle of Britain rages, and Hitler's invasion creeps closer. At the same time, baffling messages and codes arrive on their doorstep, while a menacing inspector lurks outside the gates of Bletchley Mansion. Are the messages truly for them, or are they a trap? Could the riddles of Enigma and their mother's disappearance be somehow connected? Jacob and Lizzie must find a way to work together as they race to decipher clues that unravel a shocking puzzle that presents the ultimate challenge. How long must a secret be kept? In the case of Bletchley Park, a long, long time. I really adored this book. I looked to see if Ruta had written any more like this, and I couldn't find any like this YA. And I did a brief search on other YA books about World War II, but they were all more somber, and it had somber moments, but this was kind of fun, and it was detective mystery, and it just overall really good, really enjoyed it. I think this kind of writing is a good way to get young adults to want to learn more about history. Now there is a secret message in this book, but I did not have time to try to decode that because I started reading Evan Maudsley's World War II, A New History, the second edition. I started reading the first edition until this came in, and then I switched over to this. And I read this week 6 chapters. I'm dedicated to reading a chapter a day in this book until I finish the book, and I should be finished by, hopefully, if I stick to my schedule, the time this posts. And I'm glad I'm reading ahead because there's one week in the syllabus from last year, it could change this week, where there's 5 chapters of this book that are required to be read in 1 week. And like I said, I can do that, but it took me all week to get 6 chapters read. Now, I am taking detailed notes just to try to help me remember. And when class begins, if we use this book, I'm going to do the reading, but I'm going to do more skimming and looking for, I guess, answers to whatever discussion question is. That's what my reading would be targeted on. But I wanted to get the overall reading completed so that I would start with a solid foundation. And I'm glad I started. So, so much that I've learned that obviously I can't repeat back to you right now because I'm drawing a blank on everything, but I learned so much that I did not know, and that combined with the World War II Museum's post on Instagram Instagram, I've learned other things, like in 1937, the U.S. forgot the name of the ship already, had a ship destroyed by the Japanese on the Yangtze River for whatever reasons, but they were ferrying Chinese to safety from Shanghai, I think. Don't quote me on that either. Anywho, I had no idea we had a good relationship with China in 1937. I didn't know we had folks in China in 1937, and I definitely did not. I came into this course with very little knowledge about Japan's role in World War II prior to December 7th, 1941. Anywho, really, really glad. And also, shout out to my friend Ellie, who got me this bookmark, and it couldn't have come at a more perfect time because I am using the hell out of it. Now, so that's been my primary read this week. Obviously, I haven't finished it. Luckily, there are only, I think, 14 chapters. Yes, so I'm glad for that. I have been listening to another book that could be required for my first course, and you know, when I downloaded last year's syllabus and bought all the books, I'm taking a risk, rolling the dice that nothing's going to change. It could, but I figure at least I'm still going in with a solid platform, having read Mousley, and this book is one that I am listening to, and it was not on my radar before, and if this is not in the syllabus next year, I have no regrets listening to With the Old Breed by E.B. Sledge. This is a fantastic story. It's his own story, and I'll tell you what it's about what it says on the back of the book, but I will say the writing is so great in here. It feels like, and I am listening to him, not his voice, tell me a story. It is fantastic. I'm no regrets for having read this, which I'm not finished. I got about 5 hours left. Eugene B. Sledge was part of the war's famous 1st Marine Division, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. Based on notes that Sledge secretly kept in a copy of the New Testament, With the Old Breed captures with utter simplicity and intense frankness the experience of a Marine in the fierce Pacific theater. Here is what saved, threatened, and changed his life. Here, too, is the story of how he learned to hate and kill, and later to love, his fellow man. Again, I love this, and I think I spoke about this in my post that will air tomorrow, which is my week in a book haul. His son wrote a book called The Old Breed, The Complete Story Revealed. A father, a son, and how World War II and the Pacific changed their lives. This book includes unpublished portions of the original With the Old Breed, and then interspersed in there are conversations that he had with his father. I would really love to read this before school starts. We'll see. I've got a lot of other reading to do. If I finish everything from the syllabus, then I will try to get this in before the 12th of January. Worst case, I might listen to it, but I don't think so. We'll see how it goes. But if there's not enough time, this will have to just wait until later. Anywho, so I'm not going to get a summer break or anything. It's go right through. Anywho, that is it for me. Like I said, no, you won't hear it. This will be after tomorrow's post. But next week, I hope to be back with you for another book haul, because my sister and I always exchange Amazon gift cards. She lives in Germany. I live here in the U.S. And I got hers yesterday and made a huge school-focused, mostly, book haul, and I will tell you all about those books that are due in on Tuesday. Anywho, that is it for me. As always, if you've made it this far, thank you for sticking with me on my journey. I am not doing shorts anymore because I'm not reading at the rate that I was, and I had considered doing shorts about what I read that day, and I may implement that at some point in the future, but right now I just need to get prepared and I don't need the pressure of having to post a short every day. Self-imposed pressure. Anywho, that's it for me. Happy reading!